Hello and welcome here to a podcast on TalkFCB, and today we are going to be commenting on some big speculation in the Spanish newspapers this morning surrounding our winger Gerard Deulofeu. Now, there's been a lot of speculation throughout the summer. He's been in and out of the pre-season. We've not really seen him feature as much as maybe we expected to see him in the pre-season. Luis Enrique hasn't maybe trusted him as much as we'd have expected. He's not really started him throughout the pre-season and has often come out in the pre-match press conferences and different things. And he said about Deulofeu, he said about his defensive game wasn't good enough. He said about, different things about him need to improve. And a lot of people are taking this as a criticism. They're saying that Luis Enrique is being too hard on a young kid like Deulofeu, but that's not right. Luis Enrique is only doing it to improve Deulofeu. He can see the talent that Deulofeu has, and it's all about trying to get the best out of him, trying to get the most out of the talent he has, and Luis Enrique is attempting to do it. And in the Spanish papers this morning, in Mundo Deportivo specifically, they are saying that Luis Enrique has asked the club to loan out Deulofeu for a second season in a row. We all know he was loaned out last season to Everton, very successful loan spell, very, very good season for him. And everyone was wondering then, would he be now at the level to step up? Would he be ready to come into the first team and make an impact? And I'm not really sure, looking at it now, when the speculation has come out, that maybe he is at the level that we need. And of course, we're being linked with Juan Cuadrado, a wide player, and we don't actually know this season whether Luis Enrique will play with wingers, exclusively. I mean, it's going to be maybe possibly a 4-3-1-2 formation, a 3-5-2. We don't know what the formation will be, and maybe Luis Enrique feels that he doesn't need as many wingers as he's already got. He's got Pedro if he needs him at his disposal. He's got Neymar who can play there. He's got players from the B side, of course, he could promote or use if he needs to. Adama Traore. So it's going to be interesting what does happen with Deulofeu, because Luis Enrique clearly doesn't really trust him entirely at the moment. You can see that from the pre-season games where he's not really played as many minutes as he'd have expected. And it does say about possible clubs which are interested in loaning him. Sevilla are the number one club according to local papers in Seville. They are very interested in taking Deulofeu on loan this season. Of course, Denis Suarez is already on loan at Sevilla, so that could work quite nicely, and we do seem to have a bit of an association going with Sevilla, of course, signing Ivan Rakitic for quite a cut price, it would seem. But yeah, Everton have, of course, been linked again. That's not surprising. He's very, very good there. Had a successful spell under Roberto Martinez. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Deulofeu did leave and went back to Everton, despite them signing Christian Atsu just yesterday. It'd be interesting to see what the deal is with that, if they would get another loan player in. Deulofeu himself maybe would prefer to stay in Spain, but then again, he did have a very good spell at Everton. He had a very, very good connection with the fans there, and I'm not sure, if he would say no to going back there. I think he would really enjoy it. So it's going to be interesting to see if he is asked to leave, whether he gets the preference on where he goes, or whether the club seems to be in charge at the moment. Of course, Deulofeu still hasn't been given a squad number, which has led to even more speculation. Apparently he's waiting for the number 17 shirt that currently Alex Song has, but that seems to me a bit unlikely. Everyone else has been given a squad number, and you can't really wait for a player to leave in order to get your squad number. If I was Deulofeu, I'd be wanting to get a number and get in the team. So I think it all looks a bit too much of a coincidence at the moment, and Mundo Deportivo reporting this morning that there has been now movement in that he will go out on loan, and that does seem believable. It seems that Enrique has made up his mind, he's got a clear plan in his head, and maybe Deulofeu doesn't quite fall into that this season. Whether that's the right decision or the wrong decision, we're not going to be seeing that evidence yet. We're going to be seeing later on in the season whether Deulofeu would have come in handy, or whether he wouldn't have got as much game time as he needed, because of course he's a young player. He's a young player who's improving and growing, and with young players they need game time, they need chance to mature, to gain experience. And if he's going to be sitting on the bench all season and not really getting much of it, like Teo last season, for instance, it's better they go out on loan, get the game time, get the experience they need, and come back in a year's time a much better player, a much improved player. The discipline about him will be better. He's got a better attitude by then, maybe. And hopefully then we can see a better Gerard Deulofeu than we have this season. Of course, though, there's a lot of fans getting on his back, getting on both Enrique's back and also Deulofeu's back. There's a lot of people saying Enrique is wrong to do this. I think personally in a decision, it's good to see him making big decisions like this. It's good to see somebody putting their foot down in the squad. And in terms of people slating Deulofeu, he's still only 20 years old. He's got a lot to learn. There's a lot of his game which, yes, he can improve on, but he's got a lot of raw talent, and he's a very, very good player and a good talent. And I do want to see him back at the club in a year's time if he goes out on loan, and I do believe he's got a big future at this club. So we need to keep the faith in Deulofeu. We need to keep the faith in Luis Enrique. These decisions have to be made at football clubs, so let's stick by them. Let's see what happens. There's obviously no guarantee that he will go out on loan, but all the papers this morning are linking him with an exit, with Sevilla and Everton both reportedly interested in signing him, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks. And of course, if he goes, who will come in? Could we see Cuadrado? We'll have to wait and see. So thanks for watching this podcast. Just a quick update on Deulofeu's future and the possible reports this morning for you guys. Thanks for watching as always. Please like this video. A brilliant following we're getting on here. So many great comments. Keep them coming in. So please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you guys very soon in the next podcast.